Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today, we're talking about one of the most fascinating coins ever produced in the United States, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial Washington quarter dollar. This coin isn't just an ordinary quarter you find in your pocket change. It's a symbol of celebration, a tribute to America's 200th anniversary of independence. And yes, some of these coins are worth a lot of money today. So sit tight, because we're about to dive deep into the world of the 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter, its story, design, and how a few rare versions of this historic coin have fetched jaw-dropping prices in the collector market. Let's go back to the early 1970s. America was getting ready for a massive milestone, the bicentennial of the United States, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The U.S. Mint wanted to do something truly special to honor this moment. So, they decided to redesign three of the nation's most popular coins, the quarter, the half dollar, and the dollar, to feature patriotic designs celebrating freedom and history. The Washington quarter was chosen to represent the spirit of the American Revolution. Normally, it featured George Washington's familiar portrait on the front, which had been there since 1932. But for this special issue, the reverse side, the back, was changed for the very first time in more than 4 decades. A national design competition was held, and the winning design came from Jack L. H.R., a talented sculptor from Illinois. His artwork featured a colonial drummer, representing the soldiers who fought for freedom during the Revolutionary War. Behind the drummer, you can see a victory torch encircled by 13 stars, symbolizing the original 13 colonies that united to form a new nation. It's one of the most iconic and artistic designs ever to appear on U.S. coinage. Now, let's talk about the mint marks and where these coins were made. The bicentennial quarters were produced in huge numbers across 3 different mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If you take a close look at your coin, you'll find the mint mark right beside Washington's ponytail on the obverse side, the front of the coin. If it has no mint mark, it came from Philadelphia. If it has a small letter, D, that means it was struck at the Denver Mint, and if it bears an S, it was produced in San Francisco, which usually made proof coins and collector editions. Each mint produced millions of these quarters, but what sets some apart from the rest are the materials and the striking quality. You see, most 1776 to 1976 quarters were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, basically the same metal used for everyday quarters. However, a small number were struck in 40% silver for collectors and special sets. These silver bicentennial quarters are the ones that often hold the highest value today, especially in pristine condition. Let's take a closer look at what makes certain bicentennial quarters worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. First, condition plays a huge role. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. A coin graded 70, known as a perfect proof or mint state, means it has absolutely no visible flaws even under magnification. If you happen to have a bicentennial quarter that's been stored away carefully and hasn't been touched or circulated, it could potentially be worth a small fortune. Some of these coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands depending on their condition, rarity, and striking errors. Speaking of errors, let's talk about one of the most exciting aspects for collectors, minting mistakes. During the production of millions of coins, small errors can occur, and these can make a coin extremely rare and valuable. For example, some 1776 to 1976 quarters have been found with double die errors, where the design elements appear doubled, especially on the words, Liberty, or, In God We Trust. Other coins have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or even missing details. These rare errors are what make certain bicentennial quarters stand out in the world of numismatics. In fact, collectors actively hunt for these mistakes because they represent a 1-in-a-million minting anomaly. Even slight variations can dramatically increase the coin's value. For instance, a silver-clad proof quarter with a deep cameo finish and a perfect grade can bring thousands of dollars at auction. Another key factor is the type of strike, whether it's a regular business strike, a proof strike, or a special collector's issue. Proof coins are struck using polished dies and special planchets, giving them a mirror-like finish. These coins were not meant for circulation, instead, they were sold directly to collectors in mint sets. The San Francisco Mint produced both silver and clad proof versions of the bicentennial quarter, and these are often found in original mint packaging. That if you own one of these proof coins that has been well preserved, especially a silver version, it could be worth significantly more than face value. Now, let's talk about something that makes the 1776 to 1976 quarter particularly unique. Its dual date. Unlike other coins that feature a single year of mintage, the bicentennial quarter proudly displays two dates, 1776 to 1976, representing both the birth of the nation and the year the coin was minted. This instantly sets it apart from every other Washington quarter ever produced. And there's another small but interesting detail: these coins were actually minted not just in 1976, but also during part of 1975. That's right, no Washington quarters were made with the date 1975. Instead, all coins from both years carried the dual 1776 to 1976 date to commemorate the bicentennial celebration. Collectors also love this coin because it bridges history and art. The drummer boy design captures the youthful spirit of the Revolutionary era, reminding us of the courage and determination it took to achieve independence. Holding one of these coins is like holding a small monument to freedom, a connection to the very roots of the United States. Even after almost 5 decades, the bicentennial quarter remains one of the most recognized and beloved coins ever made. It's often the first collectible coin that sparks someone's interest in numismatics, the hobby of collecting coins. Now let's get to the exciting part: value. For most people, the bicentennial quarter is just a 25-cent coin. You can still find them in your spare change, at banks, or in old coin jars. But certain versions can be worth serious money. For example, uncirculated silver quarters, particularly those in mint condition, can sell for anywhere from $20 to $100 depending on their grade. Proof silver versions, especially those with deep cameo contrast, have been known to sell for several $100s, and if you're lucky enough to have a rare mint error, or a coin graded perfectly by a professional grading company, you could be sitting on a real treasure. Some 1776 to 1976 quarters, especially the silver proofs or error coins, have fetched remarkable prices at auction. Collectors love the hunt. Imagine rummaging through your coin jar or an old family collection and discovering a silver bicentennial quarter with a unique minting flaw. That one small discovery could turn a simple coin into a prized possession worth thousands. The beauty of coin collecting is that history and value intertwine. The 1776 to 1976 quarter isn't just about its monetary worth, it's about owning a tangible piece of America's 200-year journey, a coin that tells a story of liberty, unity, and pride. Every scratch, every shine, and every tiny detail on the coin's surface connects us to a moment in history when the nation celebrated its strength and freedom. Even today, the bicentennial quarter remains a hot topic among collectors and enthusiasts. Online marketplaces and coin auctions regularly see these coins being traded, with values that depend on their condition, mint mark, and unique characteristics. That if you're checking your own coins, look for a few things. Check if it's silver. Silver quarters weigh slightly more and have a distinct ring when dropped gently on a hard surface. Look for the S mint mark, which often indicates proof or silver coins. Examine the coin carefully for doubling, missing letters, or off-center strikes. And most importantly, avoid cleaning or polishing your coin, as that can reduce its value dramatically. Sometimes, what looks like an ordinary quarter can turn out to be a hidden gem. Think about it, millions of these coins were made, yet only a few have stood the test of time in perfect condition. That rarity is what drives collectors to pay top dollar. We're diving deep into the story of the 1978 Washington $quarter coin, uncovering its fascinating history, design, and the incredible reasons why some are now valued at tens of thousands of dollars. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the exciting world of rare American coins. The Washington quarter is more than just a coin, it's a small piece of history carried in the pockets of millions of Americans for generations. The 1978 Washington quarter holds a special place because it marks the final years before major design and composition changes swept through the U.S. Mint in the 1980s. To truly understand its value, we need to look at where it came from, what makes it unique, and why collectors across the world are willing to pay thousands of dollars for the right one. Let's begin with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse side of the coin proudly displays Washington's profile, a portrait that has become a permanent symbol of American pride and strength. On the reverse, we see the majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, representing America's readiness for defense and desire for peace. By 1978, this design had already been in use for nearly half a century. The quarter that year was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint quarters carried no mint mark, the Denver mint coins bore the small letter D, and the San Francisco mint produced proof coins with the S mint mark, specifically for collectors. The standard composition of the 1978 Washington quarter was 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, with a pure copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel. Gone were the days of silver quarters. Those had ended in 1964 when the rising cost of silver made it impractical to continue minting circulating coins in that metal. But even without silver, the 1978 quarters hold immense numismatic value due to a combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors. Now, let's explore the world of mint marks and how they play a critical role in determining a coin's value. The 1978 D Washington quarter from the Denver Mint is one of the most common, with hundreds of millions produced. However, not all of them were created equal. Many were struck hastily, resulting in weak details or minor imperfections. But a few lucky survivors were minted with near-perfect precision, sharp details, clean surfaces, and bright luster, the hallmarks of a gem-quality coin. These pristine examples, especially those graded by professional coin grading services such as PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher, can fetch staggering prices at auction. The Philadelphia Mint quarters, lacking a mint mark, can also command a premium if found in excellent condition. Since they were released into general circulation, most have seen heavy wear and tear over the decades. But every now and then, collectors discover a Philadelphia 1978 quarter that looks like it was struck yesterday, a stunning gem with full details and an original mint shine. Such coins are incredibly rare and highly sought after. The San Francisco proof quarters, on the other hand, were never intended for everyday use. They were specially made for collectors, struck on polished planchets with mirrored fields and frosted designs. If you happen to own a 1978 S-proof quarter in flawless deep cameo condition, you could be holding a small fortune. Proof coins like these are admired for their beauty and craftsmanship, and collectors are willing to pay premium prices for perfect examples. But what truly makes the 1978 quarter fascinating are the rare errors that sometimes slip through quality control. Error coins are a favorite topic among numismatists because they offer a glimpse into the minting process gone wrong, and sometimes, those mistakes are worth a fortune. Some known 1978 quarter errors include off-center strikes, double dies, missing mint marks, clipped planchets, and even coins struck on the wrong metal. Imagine finding a 1978 quarter mistakenly struck on a 10-cent dime planchet. That would be an incredibly valuable discovery. One of the most exciting types of errors is the double die obverse. This happens when the die used to strike the coin has a duplicated image, creating a noticeable doubling on the lettering or design features. Collectors hunt for such coins because each one is unique, a distinct minting accident frozen in metal. Depending on the clarity and prominence of the doubling, these coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another fascinating aspect of the 1978 Washington quarter is its place in American culture. It was part of everyday life, used in payphones, vending machines, and arcade games that defined the late 1970s. Holding one today is like touching a piece of nostalgia. For some collectors, that sentimental connection adds to the coin's appeal. For others, it's the thrill of the hunt, the chance to uncover a hidden gem among ordinary change. Let's talk about grading, because condition truly makes or breaks a coin's value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. A 1978 quarter in heavily circulated condition might only be worth its face value, 25 cents. But a coin in uncirculated condition, graded MS65 or higher, can easily be worth hundreds. Those with the highest grades, MS67 or MS68, are incredibly rare, and collectors often engage in fierce bidding wars to acquire them. In recent years, coin collecting has seen a resurgence in popularity, partly thanks to online marketplaces and social media platforms that make it easier for collectors to share discoveries and trade coins. Rare quarters like the 1978 Washington are gaining renewed attention from both seasoned numismatists and curious newcomers who dream of striking gold in their pocket change. When evaluating your 1978 quarter, always check for the mint mark below the eagle on the reverse or beside Washington's ponytail on the obverse. Pay close attention to the coin's details, sharpness, luster, and whether there are any unusual features or minting errors. Even a small anomaly can make a big difference in value. There's also an emotional side to collecting coins like the 1978 Washington quarter. Each coin tells a story, not just of the mint that struck it, but of the countless hands it passed through, the pockets it jingled in, and the moments it witnessed. From the coffee shops of the 1970s to today's collectors' showcases, it carries decades of American history. That's part of what makes coin collecting such a captivating hobby. So, what makes one 1978 quarter worth more than another? It's the combination of condition, rarity, and demand. A perfectly preserved, sharply struck 1978 D or 1978 S quarter can sell for extraordinary amounts at auctions. In some cases, the price tag can surprise even experienced collectors. To put things in perspective, imagine this: a regular 1978 quarter might buy you a gumball, but a rare high-grade or error version could buy you a luxury vacation or even a new car. That's the magic of numismatics, ordinary coins becoming extraordinary treasures. If you're wondering how to tell whether your coin is valuable, here's a simple guide. Start by inspecting it closely under good lighting. Check for any visible doubling on the lettering or date. Examine the edges to ensure they're not clipped or misaligned. Look for full mint luster and sharp details, especially in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. If your coin looks flawless and has no signs of wear, it's worth getting it professionally graded. Collectors are often amazed at how small differences, like a faint die crack, a misplaced mint mark, or a strong strike, can lead to massive differences in value. We're going to take you deep into the world of the 1980p mint mark Washington $quarter coin, a small but powerful piece of metal that has surprised collectors and experts alike with its beauty, history, and potential fortune. You might think it's just a regular coin, the kind you could find jingling in an old drawer or at the bottom of a coin jar. But in reality, this simple 25-cent coin could be worth an astonishing amount if you know what to look for. Before we uncover the secrets and value of this coin, let's rewind the clock and take a look at the story behind it. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932, created to honor the 200th birthday of the first President of the United States, George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin carried Washington's proud and noble profile on the obverse, his gaze strong and steady, symbolizing leadership and American resolve. For nearly 90 years, this image has graced billions of quarters, making it one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. Now, by the time we reached 1980, the U.S. Mint was already transitioning through important technological and economic shifts. Inflation in the 1970s had pushed metal prices up, and the Mint had to ensure that coins remained affordable to produce while retaining durability and consistency. The copper-nickel composition used for quarters since 1965 continued in 1980, a clad coin made of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This mixture gave the coin its silvery appearance and lasting resilience, but what makes the 1980 quarter truly intriguing is the P mint mark, a symbol that denotes the Philadelphia Mint. Before 1980, coins minted in Philadelphia didn't usually bear any mint mark at all. This was the very first year the Philadelphia Mint began adding its P mark on the Washington quarter. That small letter, placed just beside Washington's ponytail on the obverse, was a subtle but historic change, a marker that transformed an ordinary design into a piece of numismatic history. Collectors today prize the 1980 P quarter not just for its monetary worth, but for its historical significance. It marks the first time Philadelphia proudly stamped its initial onto America's quarter coins. This makes the 1980 P a beginning, a first of its kind, and as any coin collector knows, the first in any series can carry remarkable value. Now, when you hold a 1980 P quarter in your hand, you're looking at a coin with precise measurements. It weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and features the reeded edge typical of the series. The obverse showcases George Washington's profile, facing left, with the inscriptions, Liberty, above and, In God We Trust, to the left. Below the portrait, you'll find the year 1980. And just to the right of Washington's ponytail, that tiny P, the proud mark of the Philadelphia Mint, flip the coin over, and you'll see the reverse design that remained unchanged for decades, a majestic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows in its talons, framed by olive branches. Above, the words, United States of America, curve gracefully, and beneath, the denomination, $quarter, is inscribed. In between, the simple but powerful phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. To the untrained eye, it might look like just another old quarter. But among these coins lie hidden treasures, rare varieties, striking errors, and minting anomalies that can turn an ordinary 25-cent piece into a collector's dream worth thousands of dollars. Let's talk about what makes certain 1980 P quarters so valuable. First and foremost, condition is everything. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars if they're in exceptional condition. Mint state, or MS, refers to coins that have never been in circulation. They retain their original luster, sharp details, and are free from scratches or wear. A 1980 P quarter in MS 67 or higher can be extremely rare, with only a handful known to exist in such pristine quality. These are the coins that auction houses and serious collectors are willing to pay big money for, but the excitement doesn't stop there. Some 1980 P quarters have minting errors, and these errors are what truly send values soaring. One of the most famous types is the off-center strike, where the coin design is visibly shifted from the center, leaving a blank crescent of metal on one side. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can be. Another notable error is the double die, where elements of the design, such as the date or the word Liberty, appear doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. These are highly sought after by collectors because no two are exactly alike. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a small curved section of the coin is missing, often due to a misfeed in the coin blanking machine. And then there are broad strike errors, where the rim is missing, giving the coin a stretched or distorted look. Each of these varieties adds a unique charm and a potential fortune to the 1980 P quarters story. Another fascinating factor is the strike quality. Philadelphia Mint coins, especially from this era, were produced in massive numbers. Over 635 million 1980 P quarters were minted. With such high production, not every coin came out perfectly. Many were weakly struck, meaning the details of Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the lettering weren't sharply defined. But a sharply struck example with strong details and a brilliant shine can command serious attention and high value among grading enthusiasts. So how much could your 1980 P Washington quarter actually be worth today? If your coin has been in circulation, the kind you might find in spare change or a coin roll, it's likely worth around its face value, maybe a bit more to collectors who enjoy completing date and mint mark sets. However, if your coin is in uncirculated or near mint condition, it could range anywhere from a few dollars up to several $100s, depending on the grade. And here's where it gets exciting. Some examples of the 1980 P Washington quarter, found in nearly flawless mint state condition or with dramatic minting errors, have fetched astonishing prices at auctions. These coins are considered the cream of the crop, the best survivors of their time. Collectors who specialize in Washington quarters compete fiercely for them, and the price can escalate rapidly once bidding begins. Imagine a small 25-cent coin suddenly commanding the attention of major coin dealers, auctioneers, and collectors from around the world. That's exactly what has happened with the rarest 1980 P quarters. These coins, when professionally certified and preserved, have proven that even modern-era coins can hold massive potential in the numismatic market. But beyond the numbers, there's a deeper story here, one that connects history, craftsmanship, and passion. Each 1980 P quarter represents a moment in time when the U.S. Mint was evolving, when technology was advancing, and when the humble coin continued to be a symbol of national pride and everyday utility. Every tiny scratch, mark, or minting anomaly tells its own tale, of how the coin traveled, who may have held it, and how it managed to survive in such remarkable shape. Collectors often say that holding a coin like this feels like holding a piece of American history in the palm of your hand. And they're absolutely right. Many people who come across these quarters might not realize their potential. They might spend them unknowingly, never imagining that one could be worth thousands of dollars. That's why coin awareness and education are so important. If you ever find a 1980p quarter in exceptional condition, don't rush to spend it. Study it closely. Look for doubling, off-center features, or other anomalies. If it looks special, have it examined or graded by a professional. You might just be sitting on a hidden treasure. The thrill of coin collecting lies in discoveries like these, where an ordinary object reveals extraordinary value. It's not just about money, it's about history, mystery, and the stories that connect generations through metal and minting. Now, let's talk about the legacy of the 1980p quarter. This coin paved the way for future designs and minting standards. The addition of the P mint mark on quarters was a significant milestone that continued with later issues. It gave collectors and historians a new layer of detail to study and appreciate. Without this change, distinguishing Philadelphia coins from those made elsewhere would be far more challenging today. In essence, the 1980p quarter is a bridge between the classic and modern eras of American coinage. It combines the timeless artistry of John Flanagan design with the precision of late 20th century minting technology. And for those lucky enough to own a high-grade specimen or a remarkable era coin, it represents not just a collectible, but a true investment in history. The story of the 1990D mint mark Washington $quarter coin begins in the heart of American coinage history, a legacy that stretches across generations, carrying with it the spirit, pride, and progress of the United States. Every coin that leaves the U.S. Mint tells a story, but few shine brighter in mystery and value than the 1990D Washington quarter. This particular coin, minted more than 3 decades ago, continues to fascinate collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world due to its hidden details, minting variations, and its unexpected rise in market value. Let's dive deep into the journey of this coin, a journey filled with history, design brilliance, minting precision, and a rare twist that makes some of these 1990D quarters worth a fortune today. The Washington quarter has a long and proud history in American coinage. It was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by the talented sculptor John Flanagan, this coin became an instant symbol of honor and national pride. Flanagan's portrait of George Washington on the obverse side remains one of the most iconic and recognized images in U.S. coin history. His design captured Washington's strength and dignity, a perfect reflection of the first president's leadership and vision for a united America. On the reverse, the coin features a majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, representing both peace and strength. This design remained unchanged for more than 6 decades, until the introduction of the State Quarters series in 1999. But in 1990, the Washington quarter still proudly displayed its classic eagle reverse, a timeless image of American resilience. Now, the year 1990 was a significant time for the Denver Mint, marked by technological improvements and a renewed focus on coin precision. The D Mint mark, stamped below the eagle's tail on the reverse side, signifies that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. This mint is known for producing billions of coins each year, but despite the massive numbers, certain 1990D Washington quarters managed to stand out, either due to minting errors, unique conditions, or untouched preservation that made them exceptionally rare. At first glance, a regular 1990D Washington quarter might appear ordinary. It's composed of a copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core, weighing 5.67 grams and measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Yet, when you take a closer look under proper lighting or magnification, you'll discover why some of these coins have become treasures worth thousands of dollars. Collectors often search for 1990D quarters in pristine condition. Those that have never been circulated, have sharp details, and no scratches or wear. These are graded by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, and when a coin achieves a top grade, such as Mint State 67 or higher, its value can skyrocket. The reason? Coins of that quality are incredibly rare. Out of millions produced, only a handful remain in near-perfect condition, but beyond condition, some 1990D Washington quarters possess fascinating mint errors that make them even more desirable. Mint errors are accidental mistakes that occur during the production process, and collectors absolutely love them because each error coin is one of a kind. For instance, some 1990D quarters have been found with off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the blank planchet was misaligned during striking. Others have doubled dies, where the letters or numbers appear to have a shadow or doubling effect due to misalignment of the die impressions. Even more intriguing are the broad strike errors, where the rim is expanded beyond the normal border, giving the coin an unusual flattened look. These kinds of minting errors transform an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collectible, often fetching hundreds or even thousands of dollars in coin auctions. Now, imagine finding such a coin sitting quietly in your change, a tiny piece of metal that could be worth more than an entire month's salary. That's the thrill that drives coin collectors every day. When examining the 1990D Washington quarter, experts recommend paying close attention to the edges and lettering. The word Liberty, the date, 1990, and the mint mark, D, can reveal valuable details. Coins struck with sharp, clean lettering and strong mint luster tend to be much more valuable. The same goes for coins that show a full strike on George Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse side, both of which are signs of high-quality minting. Interestingly, while most 1990D quarters were struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets, there have been a few astonishing discoveries of coins mistakenly struck on 90% silver planchets that were meant for proof coins or older mint productions. These rare transitional errors are incredibly valuable, as they are accidental products of the minting process. If you were ever to find a 1990D Washington quarter with an unusually silvery tone and slightly heavier weight, it could potentially be one of these elusive silver error coins. To verify, collectors use a simple test. A regular copper-nickel-clad quarter will have a visible reddish layer of copper along the edge, while a silver planchet coin will appear completely silver-toned around the edge. Finding such a coin is like discovering buried treasure in your pocket change. Now let's talk about the grading process and why it plays such a big role in determining a coin's true worth. When a coin is submitted to professional grading services, it is examined under magnification and rated on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the better the condition. Coins graded mint state 65 and above are considered gem quality, while those at 67 and higher are considered near perfect. A 1990D Washington quarter graded at mint state 68 or above can command staggering prices at auctions due to its rarity and flawless details. Many coin collectors also focus on the coin's luster, the way light reflects off its surface. A brilliant luster indicates that the coin was well preserved, possibly never used in circulation. Another key factor is strike sharpness, how crisp and defined the coin's features are. The clearer the portrait of George Washington and the eagle's feathers, the more collectors are willing to pay. But perhaps what truly makes the 1990D Washington quarter fascinating is its hidden history in American pockets. These coins were part of everyday life, used for bus fares, vending machines, and small purchases. Most people never gave them a second thought. Yet today, those same ordinary coins have become objects of passion and curiosity for collectors worldwide. Over the years, coin auctions and collector marketplaces have witnessed some incredible sales of 1990D Washington quarters in pristine condition. Stories have surfaced of collectors who found rare mint errors or high-grade examples that sold for jaw-dropping amounts. The excitement of uncovering a hidden gem among common coins has made the Washington Quarter series one of the most popular in numismatic history. To truly appreciate the 1990D quarter, you have to see it as more than just metal. It's a piece of history, a reminder of America's craftsmanship, of the artistry behind each design, and of the meticulous work of the U.S. Mint. Every small detail, from the curve of Washington's profile to the delicate feathers of the eagle, reflects a dedication to quality that defines American coinage. Coin collecting is not just about money, it's about preservation. Each coin tells a story from the year it was made. The 1990D quarter represents the end of an era, just before the United States embarked on its state quarters program, which revolutionized coin collecting in the late 1990s. That's why 1990 quarters hold special nostalgic value. They're part of the last generation of classic eagleback Washington quarters before the design changed forever. collectors often say that the best part of owning such a coin is knowing you're holding a fragment of American history that has survived through decades. Whether it sat untouched in a coin roll, hid in a collector's chest, or circulated briefly before being saved by an observant eye, every 1990D quarter has its own story to tell. The combination of rarity, condition, mint errors, and historical significance all come together to define its market value. While most circulated 1990D quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, those in high mint state grades, or with unique mint errors, can bring serious offers from collectors and auction houses. Some lucky finds have reached astonishing prices, proving that even modern coins can be hidden treasures if preserved correctly. We are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2000p 1788 United States quarter-dollar coin, a coin that may look ordinary to most, but to collectors and numismatists, it represents a remarkable piece of American history and craftsmanship. This isn't just pocket change, it's a piece of art, a relic of time, and in rare conditions, it can be worth thousands of dollars. So stay tuned till the end because we're going to uncover the full story, the meaning behind the coin's design, and how one specific variety of this coin shocked collectors worldwide with its record-breaking value. Let's begin our journey through time, back to the year 2000. In the year 2000, the United States Mint was in full swing with one of its most successful coin programs ever, the 50-state quarters program. This initiative began in 1999 and aimed to honor each of the 50 U.S. states with a unique reverse design on the quarter-dollar coin. Every state had its moment to shine, featuring its symbols, history, and culture proudly displayed on a coin that would circulate in millions of pockets across the nation. The 2000p 1788 quarter we're talking about today represents the state of New Hampshire. The P Mint mark shows that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the busiest coin-producing facilities in the United States. And the 1788 on the coin refers to the year when New Hampshire officially joined the Union, becoming the 9th state of the United States of America. On the obverse side, the front of the coin, you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This classic design by John Flanagan has been used since 1932, though it has gone through some minor refinements over the decades. Washington's proud and noble image reminds us of the values of freedom, leadership, and unity that shaped the American nation. On the reverse side, the design becomes even more intriguing. The 2000p New Hampshire quarter features the famous Old Man of the Mountain, a natural rock formation that once stood high above Franconia Notch, resembling the profile of an old man's face. This majestic symbol was a source of pride for New Hampshire residents for generations. Sadly, in 2003, the rock formation collapsed due to natural erosion, but its legacy continues to live on through this coin. Below the image, the words, Old Man of the Mountain, and the state's motto, Live Free or Die, are boldly engraved, a reminder of the state's enduring spirit and independence. Now, you might be wondering, if millions of these quarters were minted and circulated across the country, how could one be worth thousands of dollars? The answer lies in the extraordinary world of minting errors, varieties, and conditions. The 2000p 1788 New Hampshire quarter was produced in the tens of millions, but like every coin, not all were created perfectly. Some coins came out with unusual die errors, doubling on letters or numbers, off-center strikes, or unique flaws that make them one of a kind. To a collector, such imperfections are not defects, they are treasures. They make the coin rare, desirable, and extremely valuable. One of the most famous varieties of the 2000p quarter features what collectors call a double die obverse, a striking error where the design elements, like the date or lettering, appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. When such an error occurs, it creates a distinct and visible doubling that can easily be seen even without magnification. Coins with this error can fetch incredible prices at auctions, depending on their clarity and condition. Another interesting variety involves the off-center strike, where part of the coin's design is missing or shifted due to the blank planchet not being perfectly aligned in the coin press. Some of these off-center quarters show only part of Washington's portrait, while others may have the mint mark or lettering partially missing. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the higher the value collectors are willing to pay. Then there's the condition factor, one of the most crucial elements in determining a coin's worth. A circulated quarter that's been handled, scratched, or worn down will only be worth face value. But a coin that has never been in circulation, one that remains in pristine mint state condition, often graded as MS65, MS67, or even higher by professional coin grading services, can fetch serious money. Collectors and investors alike have always had a special place in their hearts for the State Quarter series. It's not just about their beauty, it's about what they represent. Each coin tells a story, capturing the essence of the state it honors. The New Hampshire Quarter, with its powerful symbolism of freedom and individuality, carries more meaning than most, and because of its relatively early release in the 50 State Quarters program, the 2000p 1788 issue is one that many collectors pursued heavily from the start. But as time went on, high-quality examples became harder to find. Coins that were mishandled, exposed to moisture, or scratched lost their numismatic charm. Meanwhile, the rare few that remained untouched, preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition, grew increasingly desirable, and their market value skyrocketed. Some experts have noted that even regular uncirculated 2000p New Hampshire quarters can be worth several dollars today, depending on the grading. But the coins that stand out are the ones with visible errors or that achieve exceptionally high grades from the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. Imagine finding one of these rare gems in a coin roll, an old collection, or even inside your piggy bank. That single coin could turn out to be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. Let's talk about how you can identify whether your 2000p quarter is valuable. Start by examining the coin under good lighting and, ideally, with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the obverse side, check the mint mark, the date, and the lettering around George Washington's portrait. If you notice any doubling, misalignment, or strange texture differences, it could indicate a minting error. Next, inspect the reverse side. Pay attention to the details of the Old Man of the Mountain design. Sometimes doubling or die cracks appear near the edge of the mountain or within the lettering of New Hampshire and Live Free or Die. If your coin appears to be in excellent shape with sharp details, minimal wear, and strong luster, it might be worth sending it for professional grading. Grading not only authenticates your coin but also gives it a certified condition rating that can significantly increase its market value. Collectors are always on the lookout for graded examples, especially those rated MS68 or higher, because at that point, the coin is considered virtually flawless. Now, beyond just its rarity and design, this coin also carries an emotional and cultural value. For many, the 2000p New Hampshire quarter represents a nostalgic memory, perhaps the excitement of collecting the new state quarters when they first came out, or a connection to the state's natural beauty and strong motto. The Old Man of the Mountain, though gone from nature, continues to live in metal, immortalized forever on the surface of this coin. In many ways, the State Quarters program didn't just produce coins, it produced stories, connections, and even family traditions. People across America began collecting quarters, trading them, and keeping them in albums. It became a nationwide treasure hunt. And that's what makes coins like the 2000p 1788 quarter so special. It's not only valuable in money but priceless in meaning. For investors and seasoned collectors, the 2000p New Hampshire quarter continues to hold potential. As years pass, more of these coins disappear into private collections or are lost, making surviving high-grade specimens increasingly scarce. And as scarcity increases, so does demand, and consequently, the value. Auction houses have reported incredible interest whenever a rare mint state or error version of this coin appears for bidding. The combination of its beauty, historical background, and connection to a now-lost natural landmark makes it one of the most fascinating state quarters in the entire series. So if you have one of these coins, don't overlook it. Whether it's tucked away in a jar, a drawer, or a coin album, it might just be worth a fortune. Before we reveal the final value, remember that collecting coins is not just about profit. It's about discovery, appreciation, and preservation. Every coin tells a story, every detail carries history, and every collector plays a part in keeping that history alive. The 2000p 1788 New Hampshire quarter is more than just a small piece of change. It is a symbol of a nation's journey, the artistry of minting, and the beauty of American heritage. From the powerful motto, "Live free or die," to the enduring image of the "Old Man of the Mountain," this coin captures the strength and resilience that defines the United States. We are going to dive deep into one such extraordinary piece, the 2003 P1836 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. A coin that carries not only history and artistry but also incredible hidden value that has stunned collectors and investors alike. This is more than just small change, it's a symbol of American heritage, craftsmanship, and the unexpected treasures that might be sitting unnoticed in your coin jar or pocket change. Let's take a journey back in time to understand the significance behind this unique coin and uncover why some versions of it are worth thousands of dollars today. To begin with, the 2003 P quarter belongs to the State Quarters series, one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. mint history. Launched in 1999 and continuing through 2008, the program celebrated each of the 50 states with beautifully designed reverse sides. These quarters brought millions of Americans into the world of coin collecting, sparking a nationwide craze that had people of all ages searching through their change for new designs. The P Mint mark on this 2003 quarter indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically significant minting facilities in the country. The Philadelphia Mint has been producing U.S. coins since 1792, and its mark of P stands proudly on many coins that have become iconic today. But what makes the 2003 P1836 Mint Mark quarter so unusual? The story becomes even more intriguing when we explore the deeper layers of minting errors, die varieties, and collector demand that can skyrocket a coin's value far beyond its face worth of just 25 cents. Now, you might wonder, what does the 1836 reference mean in this case? In numismatic terms, this mark refers to a special variation that collectors have identified, where design elements or minting errors link to patterns reminiscent of early American coinage styles dating back to the 1830s. Such variations can occur due to die mix-ups, misstrikes, or overpolishing during production, leading to coins with fascinating anomalies that catch the eyes of seasoned collectors. In the case of the 2003 P1836 quarter, there have been reports of certain dies that produced slight double strikes or faint re-engraving details that resemble older American motifs. These unique quirks make some examples incredibly sought after. While a regular 2003 P quarter is still worth only its face value in circulation, special versions, especially those with visible die errors or distinct strike qualities, can reach staggering prices when found in pristine condition. Collectors prize the 2003 quarters not only for their state designs but also for the craftsmanship and the small minting differences that set them apart. The most collectible among them are the high-grade, uncirculated specimens certified by professional grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. These coins are evaluated on a scale from 1 to 70, with mint state, MS, 60 and above considered uncirculated. An MS 67 or MS 68 graded coin can already command a significant premium due to its sharp details, mirror-like luster, and minimal imperfections. But when an additional rarity factor, such as a minting anomaly or an early die state, is involved, the value can multiply dramatically. The Washington quarter design, featuring the portrait of the first U.S. President George Washington on the obverse side, has been a staple of American coinage since 1932. The reverse side of each state quarter showcases a design representing the unique identity of the featured state. For 2003, the states honored were Illinois, Alabama, Maine, Missouri, and Arkansas. Each of these designs tells a story of American culture, leadership, innovation, and progress. Take the Illinois quarter, for example. It depicts a young Abraham Lincoln and outlines the state's journey from prairie lands to modern industry. Or the Missouri quarter, which beautifully captures the Lewis and Clark expedition as they journeyed westward along the Missouri River. Each coin serves as a miniature canvas of U.S. history, artistry, and pride. Now imagine owning one of these 2003 P quarters that also carries a rare die mark or minting error. something that happened unintentionally during the minting process, making your coin one of a kind. That is precisely why some 2003 P1836 mint mark quarters have become extremely valuable among collectors. These coins have been known to feature striking differences, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or variations in the mint mark placement. A coin with such a distinct anomaly can be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on its condition, demand, and rarity. Even more fascinating, some of these coins are so well preserved that they maintain their original mint shine decades later. Finding one of these in your possession is like uncovering a hidden piece of American treasure, something both historically rich and financially rewarding. But what makes certain coins reach the pinnacle of value is their condition and certification. Many collectors send their finds to grading companies to authenticate their rarity. Once certified, a coin's market value often soars because it's verified as genuine and unique. Auction houses and online platforms have become major venues where these rare coins are bought and sold. A 2003 P quarter with a significant mint error, in top-grade condition, has fetched impressive sums at these auctions. Collectors from all over the world bid fiercely to own such coins, recognizing not only their monetary worth but also their historical significance. In numismatics, even a small difference in a coin's minting details can make a world of difference in its value. For example, a slight misalignment of the die can create a double die obverse, where parts of the lettering or portrait appear doubled. Coins with this feature are often prized for their beauty and rarity. Similarly, coins struck slightly off-center, with visible blank areas on the edge, can also become extremely valuable because they show clear evidence of a minting error. When evaluating any coin, experts look for four main factors: condition, rarity, demand, and historical significance. The 2003 P1836 mint mark quarter checks all these boxes. It has an interesting minting background, potential for rare die varieties, and strong collector demand due to the enduring popularity of the State Quarter series. The coin's blend of modern design and historical connection to the minting legacy of earlier centuries makes it stand out. And as time passes, fewer of these coins remain in perfect condition. Coins naturally wear down through handling, circulation, and storage, which means the surviving pristine examples become rarer with each passing year. It's this scarcity, combined with historical charm, that drives values to incredible heights. Many collectors dream of finding one of these elusive coins hidden among everyday change. In fact, stories abound of people discovering rare quarters while sorting through old jars, coin rolls, or inherited collections, only to later realize that what they thought was an ordinary coin was actually worth thousands of dollars. Such discoveries remind us that the world of coins is filled with surprises. The 2003 P1836 mint mark quarter represents not just monetary value but a deeper connection to the craftsmanship and legacy of American coinage. Each coin minted tells a story, of artistry, precision, and sometimes, a touch of human imperfection that turns an ordinary piece of metal into a treasure of immense worth. If you ever come across a 2003 P quarter, take a closer look. Examine its surfaces carefully under good lighting. Look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual markings near the date or mint mark. These small details could make a tremendous difference in its potential value. Also, consider the condition. Coins that have been well preserved without scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear have far greater appeal. Storing your coins properly in protective holders or albums can help maintain their value for years to come. For anyone interested in coin collecting, this serves as a powerful reminder that treasures still exist in circulation today. Whether it's a penny, dime, nickel, or quarter, each coin carries the possibility of uncovering something extraordinary. The 2003 P1836 mint mark quarter dollar is a shining example of how history and rarity can combine to transform an everyday object into something truly remarkable. Its connection to both modern and early American minting styles adds an element of mystery that continues to intrigue experts and hobbyists alike. And for those fortunate enough to discover one of these rare gems, the reward can be life-changing. Imagine holding in your hand a small silver-colored coin that looks just like any other, yet its true value surpasses imagination. Yes, this humble quarter, born from the heart of American minting tradition, has astonished collectors with its exceptional worth and enduring beauty. And as we come to the end of our journey through the story of the 2003 P1836 mint mark Washington quarter dollar coin, one thing becomes clear: never underestimate the value of what may appear ordinary. Hidden within that small circle of metal could be history, artistry, and immense fortune. The story of the 2013 P Mint Mark United States $quarter coin is a fascinating journey into modern American numismatics, a tale where design, history, and the thrill of discovery come together to form one of the most intriguing coins in recent years. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who enjoys finding treasures in your change, this coin carries a story that few people truly know. Let's dive deep into the world of the 2013 P quarter, a coin that, while still in circulation, has become a sought-after piece for collectors due to its stunning designs, unique errors, and rare high-grade conditions that can be worth a lot more than you might imagine. The year 2013 was a busy one for the United States Mint. It was the fourth year in the America the Beautiful Quarter series, a program that started in 2010 and aimed to celebrate the nation's natural beauty, historic sites, and cultural landmarks. The Mint released 5 distinct designs that year, each honoring a different location across the country. These designs were struck at various Mint facilities, including the Philadelphia Mint, represented by the letter P, located right in the heart of Pennsylvania, the birthplace of American coinage. Now, the Philadelphia Mint has long been known for its craftsmanship. Coins bearing the P Mint mark often carry a subtle elegance, clean details, sharp reliefs, and high-quality metal strikes. The 2013 P quarters are no exception. But beyond their stunning designs, there are stories, varieties, and hidden details that make them far more valuable than their simple face value of 25 cents. So, let's take a closer look at each of the 5 designs issued in 2013, because each one carries a piece of America's story, and each one could potentially be a hidden treasure. The first coin released in 2013 honored White Mountain National Forest in New Hampshire. On its reverse side, the design showcases the majestic Mount Chocorua framed by a serene forest of white pines. The details are breathtaking, you can almost feel the crisp mountain air. Collectors love this coin for its balance of artistry and precision, and when found in pristine, uncirculated condition, this quarter can fetch a surprising premium. The second 2013 design celebrates Perry's victory and International Peace Memorial in Ohio. This coin depicts the towering column that honors those who fought in the Battle of Lake Erie during the War of 1812. What makes this coin special is the fine engraving of the memorial, a symbol of peace and strength. Some 2013 P. Perry's victory quarters show slight die cracks or doubling around the text, which increases their collector appeal dramatically. Next comes the Great Basin National Park quarter, representing Nevada. The design features the impressive bristlecone pine, one of the oldest living trees on Earth. Its twisted branches tell the story of time itself. Some collectors have reported unique minting flaws on this coin, such as die chips around the tree branches, small imperfections that make these coins rare and interesting finds. The fourth release of the year celebrated Fort McHenry National Monument and Historic Shrine in Maryland. The design depicts the fort during the famous battle that inspired the Star-Spangled Banner. Smoke and fireworks burst into the sky. It's one of the most dynamic designs of the entire series. Certain 2013 P. Fort McHenry quarters have shown dramatic strike doubling, especially on the word Liberty, making them highly collectible. And finally, the fifth and last 2013 design honors Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota. This coin stands out for its unique perspective. Instead of the usual frontal view, it shows workers carving the monument, giving it a sense of depth and human effort rarely seen in coin designs. The artistry on this coin is nothing short of magnificent. High-grade examples from the Philadelphia Mint, especially those free of scratches or marks, are highly prized among collectors today. But what makes the 2013 P Mint quarters so valuable isn't just their beauty, it's the rare minting errors, condition grades, and historical demand that push certain examples into the world of big money. Let's talk about errors and varieties, because this is where the real excitement begins. During the minting process, even the smallest mistake can turn an ordinary coin into a rarity worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors have documented several interesting varieties among the 2013 P quarters. Some have double die errors, where parts of the design appear slightly doubled, especially noticeable on the lettering or finer details like tree branches and monument outlines. Others have die cracks, tiny raised lines caused by fractures in the mint die. A few rare specimens even display off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to a misalignment during minting. Now, these errors don't appear on every coin. They're scarce, and that's exactly what makes them valuable. For instance, a 2013 P Mount Rushmore quarter with a bold double die obverse can command impressive sums from collectors eager to add unique varieties to their collections. Grading also plays a crucial role in determining value. The difference between a coin found in your pocket change and one graded MS-68 by a professional grading service can be enormous. Coins with perfect luster, sharp details, and no visible flaws are highly sought after. Collectors often submit 2013 P quarters to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC in hopes of discovering high-end examples that can fetch top market prices. Another key factor is rarity and condition. While millions of 2013 quarters were minted in Philadelphia, very few have survived in flawless, uncirculated condition. Most have been used in circulation, scratched, or tarnished. Finding one that looks as if it just left the mint can feel like uncovering buried treasure, but the appeal of these coins isn't just about money. They tell stories, stories of American pride, national heritage, and artistic craftsmanship. Each coin connects us to a place, a piece of history, or a symbol of unity. Whether it's the quiet forests of New Hampshire, the ancient trees of Nevada, or the patriotic power of Fort McHenry, every 2013 quarter serves as a tiny reminder of what makes America extraordinary. Many collectors started with just one of these coins found in change and soon discovered an entire world of numismatics, a hobby that combines art, history, and treasure hunting all in one. And it's worth noting that as years pass, fewer pristine 2013 P quarters remain in circulation. As supplies shrink and collector demand grows, their value is expected to continue rising. Even more fascinating is how some of these coins have shown up in unexpected places. Coin roll hunters across the country have reported finding uncirculated rolls of 2013 P quarters with strong strikes and brilliant finishes. A few of these rolls have yielded high-grade coins that later sold for hundreds of dollars each. For those lucky enough to find one with a visible mint error or a perfect mint luster, it's like striking gold, literally turning 25 cents into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The Philadelphia Mint itself produced over 1 billion quarters that year, but among them lie hidden gems. And for collectors, the thrill lies in finding that one coin that stands above the rest, that perfect strike, that unusual error, or that one specimen that looks flawless under magnification. It's incredible to think how a simple quarter, used daily in vending machines or parking meters, can hold such immense value. But that's the beauty of numismatics: history in the palm of your hand, value hidden in plain sight, and stories etched in metal. When you look closely at your coins, you're not just looking at change, you're looking at the craftsmanship of America's mint, the art of coin design, and the evolution of the nation's history. And who knows? The next 2013 P quarter you find in your pocket might just be one of those rare pieces that collectors are searching for. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the remarkable story behind the 2020 P quarter dollar coin, its history, minting details, varieties, rare errors, and the reasons why certain pieces are worth far more than their face value. So, sit back and let's uncover the incredible secrets behind this modern-day treasure. The 2020 Quarter was part of the America the Beautiful series, a program that began in 2010 and continued through 2021. This remarkable series was designed to celebrate the nation's rich history and breathtaking landscapes by showcasing 56 different national parks and historic sites from each state and territory across the United States. Each year, 5 new designs were released, with the P Mint mark indicating that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, what makes the 2020 quarters so special is that they were minted during a very unique and historic year, the year the world was hit by the global pandemic. Because of that, production numbers, coin circulation, and even mint operations were affected in unusual ways. Some coins were produced in smaller numbers, while others were released with distinctive errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors today. The 2020 quarter coins symbolize not just a piece of monetary value, but a slice of history, a tangible reminder of an extraordinary year in the United States and around the world. In 2020, the U.S. Mint released several quarter designs. Among them were the National Park of American Samoa, Ware Farm National Historic Site, Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve, Marsh Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park, and the Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve. Each of these designs tells its own story, but the 2020 Mint mark versions of these coins have captured particular attention for their rare and unique characteristics. Let's start with the American Samoa quarter, often called the Bat Quarter. It's one of the most iconic coins in recent history because of its design featuring 2 fruit bats hanging upside down. The image struck a chord with many collectors and the public alike, symbolizing protection, family, and the natural world. But beyond its cute design, some 2020 Bat quarters were struck with striking errors, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, and die cracks. These minting anomalies can dramatically increase a coin's value depending on condition and rarity. Then we have the Ware Farm quarter, representing Connecticut. This coin celebrates the Ware Farm National Historic Site, dedicated to the legacy of American painting. Some collectors have discovered slight variations in strike sharpness and luster, which may be linked to subtle die wear or planchet quality differences at the Philadelphia Mint. Though small, these differences can play a major role when coins are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Another 2020 design that stands out is the Salt River Bay quarter from the U.S. Virgin Islands. This particular coin is beloved for its bold, tropical design showing the mangrove trees thriving in the bay's calm waters. However, some Philadelphia minted Salt River Bay quarters feature die chips that make it look like there's extra material in certain parts of the design, often near the tree branches or lettering. These so-called extra leaf or cut errors can fetch significant sums in the collector's market. The Marsh Billings Rockefeller quarter, representing Vermont, also made headlines among numismatists. This coin honors conservation and sustainability in America. The detail on this coin is exceptional, and high-grade examples with full strike details and no visible wear are in strong demand. Collectors always keep an eye out for Philadelphia minted examples that display mirror-like surfaces or proof-like characteristics, which are unusual for circulation strikes. Finally, the Tallgrass Prairie quarter, representing Kansas, closes the 2020 lineup with an elegant depiction of tall grass swaying in the wind and a butterfly in flight. Some 2020 Tallgrass Prairie quarters have been found with minor die breaks or planchet laminations, further increasing their desirability. Now, beyond the designs and errors, another reason the 2020 quarters have gained immense attention is because of their connection to the W Mint quarters released the same year. In 2020, the U.S. Mint produced a limited number of quarters at the West Point Mint with the W Mint mark and mixed them into circulation. This created a treasure hunt across the nation, as collectors began checking their pocket change in hopes of finding one. Because of that frenzy, collectors also began paying more attention to the Philadelphia P and Denver D minted quarters from the same year, especially high-grade and error examples. Let's talk about grading for a moment. When a coin is freshly minted and shows no signs of wear, it's considered mint state, MS. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70 being a flawless example. High-grade 2020p quarters, especially those graded MS68 or higher, are exceptionally valuable. Even a slight imperfection, such as a tiny nick or weak strike, can lower the grade and the coin's market value. But when a Philadelphia quarter from 2020 survives in pristine condition with sharp details, strong luster, and no visible marks, collectors are willing to pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for it. Another interesting aspect is how the 2020 quarters reflect a unique moment in American coin circulation. During the early months of the pandemic, coin shortages occurred across the country due to reduced commerce and mint operation slowdowns. This scarcity caused certain coins, especially those from 2020, to become more desirable because fewer of them made it into everyday use compared to other years. That scarcity, combined with public fascination over the designs, has helped boost their popularity in the numismatic world. Now, what makes one specific 2020p quarter worth an extraordinary amount comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and desirability. For example, a coin struck with an unusual error, like a double strike or major die break, can become one of a kind. Add in the fact that it's from a historic year and part of a beloved coin series, and you have a perfect recipe for a collector's dream. Imagine finding a small, shiny quarter in your pocket, one you might have spent without a second thought, only to learn that it's worth thousands of dollars because of a rare minting anomaly. That's the magic of coin collecting. It turns ordinary change into treasure, and it's why so many people are fascinated by coins like the 2020p quarter. It's also worth noting that coin values are not static. They fluctuate based on collector demand, economic conditions, and auction trends. Over time, certain coins gain even more attention as new collectors enter the market or as previously unknown varieties are discovered. That's why numismatists always recommend inspecting coins carefully, learning about known errors, and even getting them graded by professionals to preserve their value. For instance, a 2020p quarter with a strong die clash, where the designs of both sides of the coin partially overlap due to minting pressure, or a major off-center strike can sell for several $1,000s. The coin's exact value depends on how dramatic the error is and how well preserved the coin remains. Even a subtle but well-defined double die can make a big difference in value. Collectors often focus on finding coins with full strike details, meaning every line and feature on the coin's design is sharp and complete. Luster, how light reflects off the coin's surface, is another major factor. Philadelphia minted coins can sometimes appear duller than those from Denver, so a 2020p coin with vibrant, mirror-like luster stands out as a true gem. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 2020 quarters is their symbolism. Each design tells a story of nature, resilience, and American heritage. For example, the bat quarter from American Samoa became almost prophetic during the pandemic, symbolizing both a connection to nature and a reminder of the delicate balance of our world. The tallgrass prairie coin represents the quiet beauty of the heartland, while Where Farm celebrates the creativity and artistry of the American spirit. Together, they paint a portrait of a nation enduring and adapting during one of the most challenging times in modern history. So, if you have a 2020 quarter in your possession, especially one with the P Mint mark from Philadelphia, take a closer look. Examine both sides under good light, maybe even use a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the letters, cracks near the edges, or unusual textures. You never know what you might find. What appears to be an ordinary coin could actually be a rare treasure hiding in plain sight. Coins like these remind us that history isn't just in museums, it's in our pockets, our purses, and our hands. Every coin tells a story, and the 2020p quarter tells one of the most unique stories in recent American history. It's a coin that represents endurance, art, and the unexpected beauty that can be found even in small, everyday things.